Jokic, as great as he is and all the things he's doing, I think we're kind of taking it for granted. And he's in that LeBron conversation. I'm sure Wendy will speak about the numbers that he's putting up. And he's just been doing it for half a decade now of being in an MVP conversation. His numbers are unbelievable. But because he does it so often and so easily, people are not appreciating or respecting it.
Nikola Jokic just dropped 55 points on 91% true shooting. Let that sink in. This was more than just MVP-level Jokic performance. This is ultra-efficient, full control of the game, barely breaks a sweat Jokic.
Jokic, fall away. That's good, too!
And what he's doing to start the 25-26 NBA season has pushed him into a new tier of dominance. So let's break down how he's doing it and why teams might not have a solution this time. When you consider how Jokic prefers to play, making reads, setting up teammates, and taking the perfect pass over the perfect shot 90% of the time, the Clippers' game plan actually made sense. As LA's head coach, Ty Lue, said, "Our game plan was to make him score. Just take away his passing, take everybody else out of the game." Well, that part of the mission was accomplished, I guess. To be fair, the numbers backed up the idea. Throughout Jokic's career, the Nuggets were 186 and 63 when he dished 10 or more assists, compared to 22 and 15 when he scored 40 or more. And in one sense, Lue's tactic worked. No other Nugget scored more than 18, with Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, and the rest combining to shoot 26 for 61 and just 8 for 28 from deep. And as far as Jokic's passing, somewhat limited too, because he finished with only 6 assists, a season low for one of the best set-up men in the history of the sport, who's also leading the league in assists per game. But with Jokic, solving one problem just means you've chosen a different way to lose. On the second night of a road back-to-back, after dropping 35, 15 and 7 with only 3 missed shots and 3 turnovers the night before, he actually started slow, missing 3 of his first 4 attempts against the Clippers, a lefty layup in traffic, a short push shot after grabbing an offensive board, a wide-open catch-and-shoot 3. But then, he stopped missing. Jokic detonated for 25 points in the first quarter, adding 5 rebounds and just 1 assist because the rest of Denver's starters looked heavy-legged. He simply put the team on his back, outscored the Clippers starting 5 by himself, and did it with elite efficiency. 33 minutes, 23 shots. The Clippers fouled him, trapped him, bodied him. Nothing slowed him down. They dared him to score, and he answered by dragging Denver through the fatigue and ripping the win away from LA. He's one of the greatest to ever touch a basketball. Every game is a reminder that we will never see anything like him. Enjoy it now. I know I do. Jokic had 33 at halftime, chopping a double-digit Clippers lead down to 5, and then opened the second half by hitting his first 7 shots, a 19-point avalanche that completely flipped the game. After scoring 52 points on just 22 shots in 31 minutes through 3 quarters,
Spencer Jones, Jokic has done it all tonight. 46 for the Joker now.
Jokic checked back in midway through the fourth with Denver up 19. A move head coach David Adelman defended as simply closing out a game against a team that can heat up from deep at any moment. 6 minutes later, the 130-116 win was sealed. 1 putback and a free throw after that, Jokic walked off with 55 points, tying MVP rival Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the NBA's single-game season high, on 18 for 23 shooting, with 12 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and only 2 turnovers in 34 minutes. This is insane. With the amount of touches he had, all the decision-making he was responsible for, and the entire defense keyed in on him, he turned the ball over just 2 times and barely missed anything. Here's what his shot chart looked like. 8 for 10 at the rim, 5 for 7 from mid-range, 5 for 6 from 3, 14 for 16 at the line. He cooked Ivica Zubac and Brook Lopez in every possible way, sprinting off pin downs, popping to the arc after ball screens, facing up in the mid-range, bullying smaller defenders in the post, and slicing up double teams with calm, surgical reads. This wasn't just dominance. This was Jokic reaching a level even the league's most efficient scorers haven't touched. According to GameScore, his performance against the Clippers wasn't just the best game of the season, it was the most productive game of his entire career, regular season or playoffs. That feels unreal. Think of all the huge performances he's given us in his already storied career. 3 MVPs, 7 straight All-NBA selections, and somehow we might be watching the greatest version of Nikola Jokic ever. And this is what he's doing during Denver's 6-game win streak. 35.8 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists, shooting 73.9% from the field and 55.6% from three-point land. He's the first player in NBA history to average a 35-point triple-double on 60+% shooting across a 6-game stretch. And because Jokic treats the record books like a routine Monday morning checklist, here's another absurd one. Only one player in NBA history has done all of these in the same season. A 50-point game, a 30-15-15 game, a 25+ point game without attempting a single free throw. That player is Nikola Jokic, and he did all of them in barely over a week. The only players in StatHead's database to hit 3/4 of their attempts inside the arc for an entire season are Mitchell Robinson, DeAndre Jordan, Jackson Hayes, and Gary Payton II, all of whom took fewer than 5 2-point shots per game. Jokic is taking nearly 12, shooting from much farther distances and doing it against defenses built specifically to stop him, and is still reducing all of it to rubble.
Jokic on DeAndre Jordan. Jokic, and he hooks it in.
His touch is unlike anything the league has ever seen. Half hooks on the block, tip-in putbacks around the rim, floaters, runners, mid-range turnarounds, and those defender-breaking Sombor shuffles. It's like each of his fingerprints has its own brain, all working together to convince the rim to cooperate and turn from hard steel into the softest cotton for a quick moment. And Joker pairs that touch with the strength to move any defender into the restricted area, the quickness to run the floor and create easy early offense, and a 3-point stroke that's had him over 40% from deep in each of the last 2 seasons. Add all of that together, and you get the scoring efficiency we've simply never seen before. Case in point, Jokic is shooting 68.4% from the field, which would be the highest mark ever for any player averaging at least 10 shots a night, topping even Wilt Chamberlain's 66-67 season. His 77.3% true shooting percentage, factoring in 2s, 3s, and free throws, is on pace to shatter the all-time record for qualifying players. Robert Williams set the current mark of 74.5% in 22-23 on a diet of dunks and layups. But the thing that really breaks basketball logic with Jokic, again, is the touch. I swear, I don't think I've ever seen this dude miss a floater at the rim. And the wild part? That might actually be the most impressive element of his entire game. His passing gets the headlines, but his touch is what silently destroys teams. Because these aren't easy shots. He's hitting high arching floaters, running floaters, same foot, same hand push shots, little right-handed parachute off awkward angles, all with defenders draped on him. And he knocks them down like he's doing warm-up drills. The floater is one of the hardest shots in basketball to master. Yet Jokic has turned it into a cheat code. Most players don't do well in that in-between area, too far for a layup and too close for a well-practiced free throw line extended jumper. But Jokic, that's his playground. Turning, twisting, Sombor shuffling. He lives in floater range and treats it like a layup line. And this is where he breaks defenders' brains. Because normally, if you force a center into a floater, that's a win. It means you walled up a layup or a dunk, you protected the rim, and you're in a position for a rebound. But with Jokic, giving him a floater is a death sentence. And all of this touch extends to everything he does around the rim. The way he rebounds, the way he handles the ball, nothing ever slips. Nothing ever gets fumbled. His hands look like magnets. Bad passes, loose balls, 50-50 tips. Jokic just absorbs them. That's elite coordination, that's elite feel, and it's exactly why he's becoming the thing the NBA hoped he wouldn't.
Remember, Adelman said it's turnovers. You got to rebound, you can't turn it over, and the Nuggets have been. Jokic by everybody, and a Serbian slam for the big man.
A 7-foot offensive engine who simply cannot be sped up, pressured, or forced into a bad decision. He's also on track to set new all-time records in, are you ready? Win shares per 48 minutes, box plus minus, and PER. But wait, there's more. He leads the league in both rebounding and assists per game, something no player has ever done for a full season. Wilt led the NBA in total assists in 67-68, but Oscar Robertson averaged more per game. He's also on pace to become just the 7th player ever to assist on more than half his teammates' baskets, and he's charging toward joining former teammate Russell Westbrook as the only players ever to average a triple-double in multiple seasons. Despite all of this, Jokic's touches, time of possession, and usage rate are all down year over year. His post-ups have dropped off too. David Adelman has basically said the goal is to get him through games without having to run Jokic into 25 post-ups a night. It's better for him, better for his body, and better for the long-term rhythm of their offense. Shifting Jokic from the block to the elbows and the top of the key has been a major win for Denver's overall offensive ecosystem. Moving him higher on the floor pulls his defender out of the paint and opens up space for split actions, dribble handoffs, and backdoor cuts. According to Synergy, Denver ranks second in possessions per game finished off cuts, scoring 1.39 points per possession, tied for 5th best in the league. With Jokic orchestrating this screen and cut, movement-heavy attack, and with Denver's guards and wings happily feasting on the opportunities created by the attention he draws, the scoring efficiency is off the charts for a Nuggets offense that ranks number 1 in the NBA per cleaning the glass. They're putting up 131.3 points per 100 non-garbage time possessions with Jokic on the floor, a level of offensive production far beyond what even the best all-time offenses have posted. And it somehow feels like they still have another gear to reach. Christian Brown and newcomer Cam Johnson are both shooting just 21% from 3, numbers that should rise as they continue getting the same high-quality looks. And those looks will keep coming, because Jokic will keep creating them. Send extra help and he'll spoon-feed his teammates for easy buckets. Play him straight up and he'll torch you until you start sending help. And then he'll start spoon-feeding them again. It's a vicious cycle, one with no real answers.
All with you tonight. Down the middle to Murray, and he puts it away. Beautiful bounce pass by Nikola Jokic.
Including the playoffs, this was Jokic's 5th career 50-point game, but unbelievably, the first one that actually came in a Nuggets win. Last season, he dropped a career-high 61 points with 11 rebounds and 10 assists, the most points ever in a triple-double, but Denver still lost 140 to 139 in overtime to the Timberwolves. Jokic definitely remembered that one, so this time he finally got to celebrate the performance. The win pushed Denver to 9-2, while the Clippers fell to 3-8. It was their first matchup since the Nuggets knocked LA out in 7 games in last year's Western Conference quarterfinals. Jokic averaged 24 points per game in that series, the 3rd lowest scoring output of his 16 postseason series. And Ivica Zubac is usually one of the better bigs at making him work. Not this time though. Denver actually blew a 10-point lead in the first half and even trailed by 10 right before halftime. But after scoring 25 in the first quarter, Jokic came out after the break and didn't miss. I mean, literally. He went a perfect 7 for 7 from the field in the 3rd, and the Nuggets eventually stretched their lead to as many as 22 in the second half. The 2023 Finals MVP knows his team can be special because of their depth and their defense, and they needed both on a tough second night of a back-to-back, finishing the game without Cam Johnson and Christian Brown, who exited with right arm and left ankle injuries. Even so, Denver owns the 2nd best defense in the NBA, trailing only the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder, which makes Jokic's ability to dominate on top of that even more absurd. Nikola Jokic has always been unique, but this version, it's a problem the league hasn't seen before. Smarter, sharper, more efficient, and somehow even more unguardable. This isn't Jokic chasing another MVP. This is Jokic chasing perfect basketball. If you think Jokic is on pace for one of the most efficient seasons in NBA history, hit that like button and let me know in the comments, what's scarier, his passing or his touch? And if you enjoyed this video, check out one of these ones on your screen now.